Judaculla Rock is located in Jackson County off of Caney Fork Road, just 7 miles south of Cullowhee, North Carolina. It's a soapstone rock covered with petroglyphs and pictographs that some venture to say predates even the Cherokee Indians. This sacred site was donated to Jackson County by the Parker family. The rock itself lies near a natural spring and is among meadows and low rolling hills off of an ancient trail. The meanings behind these markings have been stumping archaeologists and cryptographers for hundreds of years. The designs include sun symbology, swirls, squiggles, hands, spear throwers, turtles, etc., and thought to represent the Mississippian period for the Cherokee culture, which was between 900 and 1500 AD. Some speculate that the petroglyphs may reveal sacred maps of the Indian hunting grounds, alien visitation, or even microscopic representations of life forms as it would have been seen through a microscope. The rock itself may have served as a source of soapstone for the making of bowls during the Archaic period, which was about 5,000 years ago. The bowls were simply carved out of the soapstone, leaving the cup-like indentations called cupules. A fairly recent and limited archaeological dig around the site in 1993 revealed excavation tools. The rock is named after a slant-eyed giant who lived on the southwestern slope of the Richland Balsam Mountain, and some even theorize that he dwelled in a cave overlooking the rock. As a giant of legendary size, Judaculla, which was later loosely and grossly translated to Judaculla and later to Judaculla by the Europeans, was known to drink whole streams down in a single gulp and stomp from mountain to mountain as one might over anthills. In fact, according to Sequoia's Cherokee translation of the Bible, the word Goliath was renamed Judaculla. As legend describes, the giant leaped down off his mountain to a creek below, where he scratched the rock with his 7-fingered hands. It was said that Judaculla's farm, which was far away from the rock, was named Judaculla Old Fields. It's about 100 acres on the slope of Tennessee Bald that can be viewed from the Blue Ridge Parkway. Judaculla's dance hall became known as the Devil's Courthouse. It is here that it was mentioned by the Cherokee that he was considered a nice devil who sat in the judgment seat in a cave of the mountain, where he would condemn people who lacked courage or strayed from virtue. It is mentioned in other Cherokee stories that Judaculla was also associated with Looking Glass Rock and Pilot Knob, but the years have blurred the details of the fireside tales and legends. On August 3, 2002, the LEMUR Team conducted an investigation of the Judaculla Rock, and the following was taken from the report. The stone sits at the base of a mountain, and a large vein of copper runs down under the site. The entire mountain is filled with a variety of metals and minerals. This layout can create detectable electromagnetic anomalies around the rock and may have inspired ancients to consider the area sacred. It seems Judaculla Rock is one of at least 3 other such stones on the same property. However, one of them was buried in a 20th century mining operation and the other cannot be found. Considering the site has never really been excavated, there is no telling what other ancient markings and artifacts may lie a short distance below the surrounding earth. Could Judaculla Rock rewrite the history of technology? According to traditional history, man first saw microscopic creatures in September of 1674. These observations were made by Dutch scientist Anton van Leeuwenhoek. That means we've only known of microscopic life less than 330 years. However, many of the figures on Judaculla Rock closely resemble microscopic organisms, an observation has never been before made. According to some archaeologists, the markings on the stone may be between 3,000 and 5,000 years old. Obviously, this predates Van Leeuwenhoek by thousands of years. Our theory regarding Judaculla's possible connection to microbiology was formally solidified. Upon comparing Judaculla's markings to microscopic forms, a possible relationship quickly becomes undeniable. Was a microscope actually invented thousands of years earlier, perhaps by a civilization long forgotten? In years long past, was Earth visited by astronauts from another planet? Did they leave a message for us? Humans are the only creatures on Earth that are aware of microorganisms. Clearly, this is an earmark of an advanced civilization. Perhaps ancient astronauts left a sign for us, one that could only be understood once life on this planet evolved far enough to develop suitable technology. Are the marks on Judaculla Rock a clear sign that we've been visited in the distant past? The artists could have produced conventional images, trees, bears, the moon, etc. However, such normal figures are not found. Instead, did they produce pictograms of microscopic life, the most simple and basic form of life found throughout the entire universe? Who knows? Maybe someday we'll know the answer to that lifelong mystery. During one visit to the Judaculla Rock site, we found this stone that was about 50 feet away with an arrow on it. It was pointing towards the mountains. Upon closer examination, we saw what happened, or appeared to be, caves in the distance. Could this be the infamous cave of Judaculla himself? Well, in March of 2006, the LEMUR team put together an expedition to hike up and explore the caves and overhanging rocks. Take the journey with us now as we ascend this treacherous terrain, seeking answers into the legend of Judaculla.
For those of you who don't already know, basically we know for a fact that there are artifacts and petroglyphs strewn around this mountain that are relatively, if not completely unknown to modern man. And so along the trek today, if you find any kind of significant sign of human intelligence, then that's something that you'll want to Mike, or you'll want Micah to mark. He'll have one of the GPS sheets.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's all right, slow and easy.
Okay, on these sheets, you have two sets of caves that we're interested in. Set A and B. Now everybody who's never seen these pictures, you need to take a look at these. Right here, set A, you can see clearly what appear to be two cave-like indentions. Now we can't be sure if those are rock overhangs or not, but that's the first set, and set B has this area which looks like it also could be caves. We're not sure. Now if you look up here with your naked eyes, you see this large gray spot? That is set B. The smaller one to the left is set A. So what you're going to do is make your way up to the ridge, walk all the way around the ridge, and you're going to come to set B first, but skip it. Go on past it to set A, which is the lower level, and then see if you can drop down and check out A first, and then on your way back, check out. Now this is a contour map of the area that is also included in this set. This large crosshair marks the location of the rock right down there. We are going to be sitting here guiding you from our perspective. If we have to, we'll have another person go down there so we can triangulate positions. We're not going to have much of a visual beacon on you until you get around this area of the twist. But what you can see is that on the tracking for the GPS, by the time you get to the caves, your trail is going to look sort of like a horseshoe, because you're going to go up there, go across, and then go back over. And so when you get to the point where the horseshoe starts to sort of line up with your starting point, that's when you'll know you're over top of the area where the caves are. Clearly we should be able to see you from this perspective since the vegetation is not too high. And we're going to have radio contact the whole time. Every 10 minutes, Micah's going to give us the coordinates of the blue team. Those of you who are on the base campus called the gold team, we also have some radio codes that people using radios understand. Now, I doubt we're going to have to use any of this stuff, but if so, here we have a mirror for signaling position.
I'll take that as well.
Okay. If you make it to a cave and you want to go inside, you have the option of using a gas mask with a fresh filter. Just in case there's methane or something else inside, For those of you who have never used a gas mask, and Mike, I'll show this to you specifically. The purpose is just to see if there is a cave and size it up, document its latitude and longitude so we can go back later when we are specifically equipped to go spelunking to explore the cave itself. Everybody understand that you were doing this at your own risk. Anybody who's not willing to do that, don't go. Now, Brian, you're going to be doing all the imaging for this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you will get the first images, and keep in mind, for all we know, this might be our only shot. So if you get there,
do we have room for this in the utility?
Get the best you can. I know you will. May Judaculla guide you safely.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, where's my Cherokee Indians? I put my faith in Joe Pesci.
All right.
Oh, I'm gonna get that book.
Joe Pesci, good luck. May Judaculla guide you. Casey, may Judaculla be with you, my friends. Corey, good luck.
No, man.
Judaculla guide you safely. Jay,
Thank you.
Judaculla will be with you, my friend. Ryan, you ready to rock and roll?
Yep. Throw my backpack on.
Put it there, buddy. May Judaculla guide you safely.
No.
Micah is the man who will lead you all.
We're good.
Our trek up the mountain was slow and arduous, but step by step we eventually reached the top of the ridge. We even had a dog make the hike. For a while we traveled across the ridge and over the saddle that connected the two mountains. We stopped often to conserve our energy. Well, this old fart did anyway. Once we were over our objective, we signaled to base camp so they could record the GPS position. Mike and Caleb Hanks were the first ones to go down the steep descent. The rest of us carefully followed after. Our adrenaline was pumping and our spirits high as we got closer. And this is what we found. A small cave-like structure among cliff rock overhangs. We had accomplished the mission of our expedition, to gain a positive ID on these mountain structures.
Go back up and around this way. Whatever, let's go. Yeah, you guys are good. Yeah, okay. Is that cool? That good? All right, cool. Thanks, JJ. You're going to be able to make it. Grizzle, don't forget your walking stick.
Okay.
Guys, gonna take it to the top of the rock for me.
No artifacts were found, but next time we'll be well equipped to traverse these beautiful mountains of Judaculla's realm.
Were you able to see that reflection, Josh? That was a test.
I see a reflection there, but the reflection is coming from in front of the cave, correct?
Directly in front of it.
Okay, so if you would head back up there to the ridge area you were heading down to the cave, and then start walking back in the direction you came from, over.
Copy that. Yeah, Brian's gonna film for just a minute, and then we're gonna go. Cool.